Today I'm going to be transferring some water from one of my rain barrels over to my main barrel because my main barrel is pretty much empty. So I have the gutter line going into these. These ones are pretty decently full. So I'm going to be taking a submergible pump and transferring it over here to my main barrel. I don't know if you can see how low it is right now, but this barrel has a little hose line right here that goes under my house, and it feeds to a 12-volt pump under there, which pumps the water in. Alright, so let's get started. So what I always use is I like to use my 100-foot hose. This is not really one of my better hoses, but it's what I have out right now. So I have this hose that I connect to just a regular standard submergible pump. And then the reason why I like to put some mesh down here on the bottom is because I already know that my water barrels, these ones over here especially, are going to be really dirty with all kinds of debris and sediment from the gutters because I've not cleaned the gutters in a while. So putting one of these on the bottom just kind of gives an extra layer of protection for the pump as to not suck all that debris in or ruin the pump. Alright. I'm going to start with these smaller barrels here. So you literally just drop the pump down in the barrel. The water is not too bad, but I don't know if you can see, there is quite a bit of sediment down there. Alright, so this is the time-consuming part. Like I said, this is not one of my better hoses, so I'm going to have to spend some time to make sure it's not kinked up, because it does tend to get really kinked. And I apologize for the noise and the mess today. I've got my generator running because I can't power my AC right now. I'm just not generating enough for the solar panels. Alright, so there you have it. It's nice and laid out. No kinks in the line. As good as it's going to get anyway. So now let's get started. Alright, so there you have it. I've got it plugged in to one of these outdoor plugs. And it won't take too long. So I'm running it right now because my generator is on, and obviously that's going to help me to save power later. However, these pumps don't really pull too much. I'm not sure the exact specs. I can look into it if anybody is interested and leave it down below. But usually during a nice sunny day, in the middle of the day, I can power it just fine on my solar alone. While we're waiting for the water to transfer, I will briefly go over how I do this. It's pretty simple and straightforward. What I've done is just run my 40 foot of gutter here along my whole house, just like anyone would. And then I have two flexible downspouts on either end. I've got the one here that goes into my main barrel, and then my other one right here. And I have extra barrels here for storage. And whenever it rains, I just let the barrels fill up. And I do about right here in the middle have both of these gutter lines going slightly angled down at a downward, obviously, so that way when it rains the water is forced to flush that way or forced to flush this way towards these barrels. I will link in another video exactly how I set up my water pump under my house here. This is just a regular IBC tote that I use. and I have it connected to a standard garden hose that goes down under the house, and under the house is where the 12-volt pump is, and I have that wired on its own solar panel. It's just a very small 12-volt pump. My main house is on a 24-watt solar setup, so that's why I just have this pump here on this small panel with its own 12-volt battery. And if you are interested in setting this up or trying something like this for yourself or even just for your garden, I will link another video on how to do that. Alright, we are back now to check on the water, and I will mention first and foremost, I'm sure you guys can see here what's going on, but never walk away from your water while it is transferring, because I had an incident when I walked away and went inside where the hose fell out and it just started filling up on this tarp and overflowing. And obviously if you're trying to conserve and save water, at least in my situation, that is very bad because I just lost a whole bunch of water. Let's go on over here though and see how the water is doing and see if it's ready for the next barrel. Not quite, but we are making progress. Alright, so now it is done. It's gotten about as much as it can from this barrel. We will move it on over here to this other one. And of course, if you want to avoid the bugs that get stuck and float on top of your barrel, there's easy ways around that. You can just get window screening like this. You can get rolls of it at literally any hardware store. You can even do multiple layers of it to really ensure that nothing gets in there. And then secure your lid on top of it like that. So that way you'll still be able to catch water in there, but for the most part try to keep a lot of stuff out. Alright, so there you have it. Transferred water from 3 barrels, and we are just past this 100-gallon mark. Doesn't seem like much, but believe it or not, it will last us for a while. And then the last thing I thought may be worth noting is the reason why I use a thick tarp on this barrel. The same reason why on this big barrel over here, why it is painted black, is because the dark tarp or the dark color helps keep the algae from forming in it. Now, I didn't paint the other one because it's a lot harder since it's an IBC tote inside of a metal cage. And this one is painted because it gets a lot more direct sunlight, especially in the morning, for at least half the day from right over here on that barrel. So that dark paint helps to keep the algae from forming in it. So it's definitely a good idea with your barrels to either paint it with a non-toxic paint, or if you just have one of these barrels instead, just get you a thick tarp or dark tarp like this and wrap it around it the best that you can, because it'll definitely help with the algae formation.